All right, let's talk about your hometown of Memphis.
Yeah.
I asked the same question to my last guest, but I want to hear your take. Since you have a
As
business stake in the
so
city of
where's
Memphis.
where's the camera? My Peabody Memphis Cup right here.
Yeah, represent. All right, recent NBA analysts have discussed the city of Memphis in relation to the Grizzlies and describing the lack of infrastructure around the stadium to support its growth, thus acting as a reflection of the stagnation of the city. Tell us about what growing up there was like for you and what your personal desires for the future of your hometown are.
Man, having so our weekend downtown is in downtown Memphis. I mean, if you're standing at FedEx Forum, you can see weekend. It's really across the parking lot, kind of about a 6 or 7 minute walk. On the other side of the street, I've got three condos that I'm building with a buddy of mine. That foundation should be up now, going now, and so hopefully those will be done by Q4 of this year. I want to be a part of the change that I'm asking or that I'm hoping that Memphis has. Now, with that said, there are a lot of things that are contributing to Memphis being in the position that it's in. Some things that have been external, some things that have been internal, things that it has done to itself. Leadership problems, just the way people think, a lot of times there. But at the end of the day, there's nothing like Memphis. There's no place when I go home, I still feel the same, comforting blanket sort of over me. My mom is still there. My family is still there. So and I go back enough to be still very involved. When I get up in the morning, I'm looking at the Daily Memphian, I look at the Memphis Business Journal, I look at the Nashville Business Journal, I look at the Tennessean, and I'm looking at all four of those electronically, and so I can tell you almost as much about what's going on in Memphis, without living there, obviously, that I could read, and then going back and forth in there about every other month or so for several days. And at the end of the day, what I do know is, yes, there's some things about Memphis that needs to change, but there's things about a lot of cities. There's some stuff about Nashville that needs to change. It's just that
Mhm.
Nashville was Memphis's little brother for so long. When I was growing up, that's the way it was. You came Nashville. No, Memphis had, I think, almost 1 million people at the time. Nashville was like
Mhm.
200, 300,000. You come here, you go to Opryland when it was the Opryland theme park
The
before it
theme
was
park.
the mall. You come and go to the theme park, and really that was about it. I mean, because we didn't go to many times I came up here. We didn't go to the Grand Ole Opry. We weren't country music fans, but we did come to
Mhm.
Nashville from time to time. And I'm saying that to say that we got Memphis started kind of getting left behind at some point, and there were some things that happened from a government perspective that happened around that leadership perspective that happened around it. Some horrible people that were in some positions that really drained the city of some resources and things. But at the end of the day, I think that there are people there that continue to want to see Memphis win, and it can win. I'm glad that my frat brother is the mayor down there, Paul Young. He's an amazing guy, and I'm always pulling for him. And when I call him and just hey man, just keep your head up. You're doing a great job. Like, you just want to continue to push people forward and give them the I'm gonna say the stamp, but you want to
The
encourage
fuel.
folks to continue to do what you can for a city
Mhm.
like that, especially one that does have economic issues in some areas. You still got areas of Memphis that you can still buy a house for $30,000-$40,000 in Memphis right now. Like, seriously. But you also understand that Memphis is a huge is a huge footprint. It is, I mean, from a square mile perspective, it's not
Mhm.
dense at all. There are people spread out in so many different areas, and so there are a lot of people to sort of try to um, there's a lot of people in a lot of places with different interests. The South Memphis is a different interest than the people in Carterville, than the people in Bartlett, than the people downtown even. And so I've seen a lot of changes just in the couple of years I've had businesses down there. There's been so much that's happened, man. We had robbery issues down there for a while. People were doing a bunch of break-ins. You had people there. So people were scared to come downtown for a period of time. Um, and so I really pray for my city. I say my city, Memphis, because again, that's my born and raised, graduated from high
Mhm.
school, to just find the stability that they need in order to evolve. Because every time they seem like we're on an upward trajectory, something happens. We hit this wall, like I said, whether it's at the state legislative level, sometimes even at the national level, where they just don't get a chance to get over that bump. But in the middle of that, in between time, we're gonna roast the brand new anchor for Fox 17. That was a moment for Memphis earlier this week or last week.
Yeah, for sure.
And but
He
but
legend
that's the
now.
type of city that you have. We're gonna find some things to still laugh about. We've got some things in common. So, we're gonna roast you. Roasting, I mean, that's all we did at the lunch table, growing up. And so, I mean, that's just in our DNA. Probably to our detriment at times. We be checking when times don't require that. But
For
but I
real.
just, the Grizzlies, the up and down that they're seeing, getting them to invest more in the city. I think there's some things coming up with the FedEx Forum, and I think they just extended their lease with the Forum, which is going to be good. I think there's some renovations that are about to happen to that as well. So as those things continue to happen, I think we'll see sort of some changes happening. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm gonna do what I can. We'll keep weekend Memphis going. We'll continue to have jobs and provide jobs for folks there. Again, on the other side of Danny Thomas, there, I'm gonna build these 3 condos with a buddy of mine. I've got 2 more lots around the city that I'll start on. Hopefully after that, just doing my part. Nothing huge. It's not big developments or anything. It's just, doing my part, to try to uplift and say that I'm, again, legacy for me, man. What am I leaving?
Yeah. What are you leaving? And everywhere you go, it sounds like, your mission is not just to go there and leave with a bag or leave
Oh
with
no.
the outcome, the end result. It's always to dive a little bit deeper and to leave a mark.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, it sounds like that's what you're doing. You want to leave TSU in a better place. You want to leave, NAMAM in a better place. You
Yeah.
want to leave, the city of Nashville, the city of Memphis, like very involved. And I like that. I like that. I appreciate that.